If I lost my entire garden tomorrow and had to start over from scratch with limited space and a limited budget, I would not plant what I planted my first year. My first garden had 15 different crops crammed into 2 small beds. A little of everything, nothing in the right quantity, and half the space wasted on crops that looked interesting but barely produced. It took me several seasons of tracking yields, calculating grocery replacement value, and learning which crops actually earn their space before I understood what belongs in a productive garden and what does not. If I started over today, I would plant exactly 10 crops. Not because 10 is a magic number, but because these 10 produce more food, replace more grocery spending, and require less maintenance than the 15 or 20 crops most beginners try to juggle. Every crop on this list was chosen for a specific reason. Some produce the most food per square foot. Some have the highest grocery replacement value. Some produce continuously for months from a single planting. And some make everything else in the garden work better. In this video, I am counting down from 10 to 1. The vegetables I would grow if I started over in order of priority. Stay to the end because number 1 is not the crop most people would guess. Number 10, radishes. Radishes are the first crop every new gardener should plant because they produce results faster than almost anything else in the garden, seed to harvest in 25 to 30 days. That speed gives you an early win, helps mark slow germinating rows, and fills space while larger crops are getting established. Radishes are not high value individually, but they teach you the rhythm of gardening: plant, harvest, replant, faster than any other crop. Number 9, kale. One kale transplant can produce harvestable leaves for 6 to 8 months from a single planting. Kale handles heat better than lettuce, handles cold better than almost anything, and actually tastes sweeter after frost. It is one of the most reliable, lowest maintenance greens you can grow. If I could only grow one leafy green, it would be kale every time. Number 8, cucumbers grown vertically. A single cucumber plant on a trellis takes up about 1 square foot of ground space and produces pounds of fruit throughout the season. Ground-sprawling cucumbers use far more space and often suffer more disease issues. Vertical growing dramatically improves productivity, making cucumbers one of the best space-saving crops in a small garden. Number 7, zucchini. One plant can produce enough zucchini for an entire household. It is one of the highest volume crops you can grow, producing for months when harvested regularly. My only warning is that 1 plant is usually enough. 2 can quickly become overwhelming. Number 6, peppers. Peppers are steady, reliable producers that occupy very little space while delivering harvests for months. They freeze well, fit into almost every cuisine, and provide excellent value from a small footprint. Whether sweet peppers or hot peppers, they earn their place in almost any productive garden. Number 5, bush beans and pole beans. I count them together because they serve different roles. Bush beans are fast and perfect for succession planting. Pole beans use vertical space and produce continuously for weeks. Both improve the soil by fixing nitrogen and both provide excellent yields for the space they occupy. Number 4, lettuce grown as cut and come again with succession sowing. Lettuce is the most practical daily use crop in the garden. Plant a small section every couple of weeks, and you can harvest fresh salad greens for months. Considering how expensive bagged salad mix has become, a small lettuce patch can save a surprising amount of money over a season. It is one of the few crops that many families can use almost every day, which makes its practical value much higher than its size would suggest. Number 3, herbs. Specifically basil, parsley, cilantro, and chives. Fresh herbs have some of the highest grocery replacement value per square foot in the entire garden. A handful of herb plants can replace dozens of grocery store purchases. They also attract beneficial insects, support pollinators, and improve overall garden health. Herbs provide value far beyond the harvest itself. A few dollars spent on herb seedlings can easily save more money than entire sections of vegetables that require 10 times the space. Number 2, sweet potatoes. Most gardeners overlook sweet potatoes, but they are one of the most efficient calorie crops you can grow. A few slips can produce a substantial harvest that stores for months without processing. That makes sweet potatoes incredibly valuable because they continue feeding you long after summer crops are gone. They help turn a garden from something that produces fresh food into something that contributes to year-round food security. When winter arrives and fresh harvests slow down, those stored sweet potatoes continue delivering value week after week. And number one, the crop I would plant first if I started over and the single most important vegetable in any productive garden is indeterminate tomatoes. Not because they are trendy, not because they are exciting, because the math is unbeatable. A single indeterminate tomato plant can produce 15 to 25 pounds of fruit from a remarkably small footprint across months of harvests. Tomatoes freeze well, become sauces and soups, and extend summer harvest deep into winter. They are also the crop that teaches nearly every major gardening skill: timing, pruning, support structures, watering, mulching, and disease prevention. If you can grow great tomatoes, you can grow almost anything. They are the foundation crop around which many productive gardens are built. One thing I wish someone had told me when I started gardening is that productivity compounds. The first year you are mostly learning. The second year the soil improves. The third year your seed saving starts paying off. Your trellises are already built. Your irrigation is already installed. You know which varieties perform best in your climate. The mistakes become smaller and the harvests become larger. That is why I chose these 10 crops. They are not just productive individually, they work together as a system. Radishes teach succession planting. Lettuce teaches continuous harvest. Beans improve the soil. Herbs attract beneficial insects. Sweet potatoes provide storage calories. Tomatoes teach nearly every major gardening skill. When you master these 10 crops, you are not just growing vegetables. You are building the foundation for a garden that becomes easier and more productive every year. The other reason I love this list is that it balances short-term and long-term rewards. Radishes give you harvests within a month. Lettuce and herbs start producing quickly after that. Tomatoes, cucumbers, peppers, and beans carry the garden through summer. Sweet potatoes bridge the gap into winter. Instead of waiting months for a single harvest, you create a system where something is always coming out of the garden. That steady stream of food keeps motivation high and makes gardening feel rewarding throughout the entire season rather than only at harvest time. Those are the 10. Radishes for speed, kale for durability, cucumbers and zucchini for volume, peppers for steady production, beans for succession and soil improvement, lettuce for daily practical value, herbs for grocery savings and garden health, sweet potatoes for long-term storage, and tomatoes for the highest return on space in the garden. If I started over tomorrow with 2 small beds and a limited budget, these are the crops I would plant first. They produce the most food, save the most money, and teach the most valuable gardening lessons, and that is exactly where I would start again.